grow up and I'd settle down. There was 10,000 girls up in Tiger Town, and it was heaven to me.
Cody Webb, 4 years into 5.
I used to sneak downtown.
Good stuff if you're a Tiger.
And watch Doug McCormick rock TDs on Friday.
Let me tell you what. I'd like to thank our producer for I really would. I'd like to thank our producer for being
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
and that I am the producer. Because you got to watch it with Webcam Max. I hit record, I thought, but I wanted to start the show immediately. And what happened? You guessed it, wasn't recording on Webcam Max. So for those of you watching us on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/LSwanMedia. That's ELSWANNMEDIA. For you folks, you're going to see the abbreviated edition. Edition. If you want to, yeah, I guess if it's abbreviated, it might just be edition. Edition. You're going to have to go to Vocal, VOKLE, to watch the whole show so far. And Daniel, man, if you want to, submit your questions live to us there with the little light bulb button just above the chat. We could pop that up on the show. It'll bookmark it for everybody who's tuning in. And I'm assuming right now, because our numbers are still a little bit low, that Elias's show is still rolling. Elias does a good show. He's been in here with us before to check out our programming. On the front page of Vocal, though, still number one. Number one on Vocal, number one in your hearts. 39,000 people have liked Vocal. 3,900, people have liked Vocal, and we are definitely on the front page right now. So the people should be coming in soon. I appreciate everybody sticking around with us. Here we go. Top 10 slasher films. If you missed the opening of the program, we started with where's this program going to go, what's it going to be. But we look now at the top 10 slasher films of all time. This comes from top10films.co.uk/archives/13249. I'm going to drop that in the chat room for you if you want to take a look at the article as we roll through it. Terror Train. I need some music. Does somebody know, is there a scary song out there? Does Friday the 13th, let's see, Friday the 13th, music? I don't even know. The theme from Friday the 13th. This sounds good. I think we'll probably go with that in the background. Oh, yes. Slasher films. I hope there's no singing in this. Can you hear it good, I hope? Terror Train, 1980. All aboard if you dare. The boys and the girls of Sigma Phi. Some will live and some will die. This is a very creepy cover. Haven't seen it. And from the picture, I don't want to see it. It does not seem to scare me. Jamie Lee Curtis, though, is on board the Terror Train, apparently. Number 9, The Burning. Didn't see it either. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not all that concerned with that one either. Maniac, though, 1980, looks horrible. It reminds me, it's great music. Maniac, the guy on there looks like, it kind of reminds me of the fella from No Country for Old Men. This one does look kind of scary. They say it's often criticized for copying Psycho. This movie, Maniac, from 1980. Number 7, Black Christmas, came out in 1974. Many consider this the first slasher film due to its brutal style and nature of the killings. Now, normally at Christmas, I watch things like Christmas Vacation. I might have to watch this movie, Black Christmas. Seems a bit scary. House on Sorority Row seems like something that would not interest me all that much. maybe. Ooh, this music. If someone comes behind me, please let me know. House on Sorority Row, I'll be honest, kind of looks like and reminds me of the movies. And I'm going to turn down Friday the 13th theme. That was a good one. House on Sorority Row, it looks like the Urban Legends style movie to me. I mean, that's a played out type setup plot, if you will. I wonder about Halloween. I know people hate that song. Halloween. The movie. The Halloween theme. Oh, yeah, here we go. Now you're cooking. Friday the 13th comes in at number 5. The original. That was a scary series until you go back and watch it 20 years later and you see how fake everything looked. But Jason, no matter where it was, downright scary. Number 4, Nightmare on Elm Street. There were a couple in there that were a little corny, right? You got to admit that. But some of the earlier Wes Craven flicks, Freddy Krueger, then when Freddy and Jason were going head-to-head or on teams or whatever they end up doing with that, it's kind of lost its luster, right? Number 3, Psycho. Oddly enough, the original Psycho, I've never seen. I guess because it's so old, from 1960. There were some later versions of that movie that came out. I don't know if they went up to Psycho 3 or 4 or 12. I'm not sure where they stopped. But Norman Bates and his mom, man, I'm going to tell you, those movies sort of mess with you a little bit. Number 2, the music you hear here. John Carpenter's Halloween. Michael Myers. The original, again, 1978, it's a little old for me. I probably should have tuned in and saw it. Maybe I did see it at some point, but the rest of those, and that creepy detective guy, come on, man. And finally, My Bloody Valentine. I have not seen it, and from the cover, I don't really want to see it. The only thing that has me intrigued about seeing My Bloody Valentine is the fact that it's number 1 on this list. And if it's number 1 on this list, they say not the greatest production, and the acting is horrible, but it had such a charm to it. The killings were unique, and it swayed away from being stuck in the woods or in a house. A theme that several of these slasher films beat to death. No pun intended. The movie channel showed it every February the 14th, and I watched it every time. Now, we've talked about other scary movies here on the program in the past. I'm going to let Halloween's music play out. The one where, the girl turned into a robot, that one kind of creeped me out. The guy, built her from his little buddy machine robot. That one was kind of scary. Fright Night, when his mom invites over the vampire. Yeah, that was scary too. I mean, there have been a number of great horror films in the past. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Killer Clowns, folks. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. If I have that movie. Did you see that? Remember the guy who does the Puppeteer? They say this is a song, but I'm not going to play it because it could be something I don't want to hear. But Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That movie, they shoot the popcorn at you. There have been some strange movies in the past. I'll tell you about a couple when we come back that I vaguely remember, and I'll look them up. And I didn't even write the names down, so I've since forgot about them. And finally, we're going to talk about technology. And then we're going to get you on your way. 23 minutes in, No Name Show. Yeah, I know. How is this guy the number 1 rated broadcaster on vocal? It's a Christmas miracle.
Let me begin.
Hate the thought of shopping? All that hassle and can't find what you're looking for anyway? We understand. Retail stores make it difficult. Instead, try www.edistooutdoors.com. Edisto Outdoors features performance apparel and gear engineered for performance, comfort, and style. EdistoOutdoors.com. You'll enjoy the shopping and you'll enjoy the products. Great products from people who care.
Georgia, 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 Georgia. We on the grind, Georgia, all the time. It ain't nothing on my mind but Georgia.
Welcome back into the No Name Show. Hashtag No Name, KNOW, though. I'm not an N-O name. I'm a KNOW. I'm Lawton Swan, your host. Love doing this program for you each week. Again, we may be moving it. If you're watching the YouTube version of the show, youtube.com/LSwanMedia, you can find our playlist there. You can also check out our other programs, our Clemson Sports Talk programs. Right now, we only have the playlist, though, for the No Name Show and TigerNet Talk. Clemson Hotlines playlist will be beginning in a couple of weeks. Get ready for that. We're rolling out the new website for our Clemson Sports stuff, clemsonsportstalk.com. Awesome. That website will be up shortly. On Twitter, though, to tweet to us during this program, hashtag No Name. You should read it right here. Right there. See that? Oh, went away. This is the No Name Show. We got a new banner that's coming out next week. I'm excited about that, and I definitely appreciate you being here. But we may be moving the times. It just depends on when we have to record our Clemson shows to get them out on the radio. This show, of course, is not a radio show. This show is a podcast, blog, whatever you guys want to call it. Just check it out. Click follow host. Tell your friends, tell your families, and tell your friends' families about our program. Now, I've seen some of the tiered packages and the share plans that are available for Verizon, and AT&T is going towards that now. And there's a debate in my mind whether it actually saves you money. Now, from my perspective, I am on the unlimited plan with AT&T, which is $30 a month. My wife as well. And if you start looking into the data packages and the amounts of data and all the things you get, I got to be honest with you. People who are on the unlimited plan don't need to go anywhere unless they have more than 2 people on their phones. Because as I've looked at it, and maybe you can justify it differently for me, you're going to be paying sometimes, in some cases, more for less. And sometimes right at the same amount for less. These shared family plans are just that, for families. People with 4, 5, 6 phones on their plans. Then it becomes economical to do so. But until you get to that point, let me just give you a warning. You don't want to do it. Because if you've made the move over and you have only 2 people on your plan, I got to tell you.
Well, that's the dumbest thing I've heard of.
It does not make any sense at all. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. You should clearly look more carefully if you've made that move and there's only 2 of you. And the bad news is you can't go back. But here's the problem. AT&T, because of the unplanned that they gave out so long ago, they have slowly tried to force them into getting packages that they really don't necessarily need to get them off of that unplanned.
Shame, shame, shame.
And it is a shame because those people who are loyal customers don't deserve to be railroaded at every turn. The latest one, apparently, those of you who are on the unlimited plan, such as myself, if you do not get a new plan when the new iOS rolls out, you're not going to be able to use your FaceTime. Now, there's speculation out there that no one's going to be able to use the FaceTime anyway that's on a phone under the iPhone 4S or the new phone when it comes out. I have not confirmed, and I cannot tell you whether that is the case. But I can tell you this. If that's the way they roll things out again.
Personally, I think we got hosed on that call.
We've been hosed. Me, you, and anybody else on the unlimited plan. And I, for one, will not be going over. You know what I will be doing? I will be jailbreaking my phone once again. I will jailbreak my phone once again, just like we are right now, to take advantage of the things that as a consumer I deserve. You know, the customer is always right, except for in the telephone industry, apparently, and maybe in the satellite television industry. These industries where you just have these almost global monopolies. That's where the customer is not right, and that's a big problem for me, because loyalty should count for something. Staying with them should count for something. And I don't know about you, but I can't imagine I'm going to be using a whole lot of FaceTime anyway, but I should at least have that option and not have it ripped away from me for having a phone that's not outdated by any means. And no, I don't have a case for my phone, so don't try and upsell me on your case. Crummy. I did break my case, though. I mean, I did break my phone. As you can see, right, let's see. I don't know if I get it to focus. There's a little crack right there. That's it. I didn't go with the full frontal shatter like some of you people. I don't want a case. Don't upsell me on insurance. If I drop it, I'll get a new one. And if you'll try and rip me off, I'll go to Apple and they'll help me out. Loyalty means something. Think about that. Finally, as you all know, with everything that I am working on, content management is tough. But I was put onto a great program called Asana from the makers of Facebook, one of the lead guys on Facebook, ASANA. If you got to keep up with projects, if you got to keep up with contacts, to-do lists, all of that, you want it on your phone, you want it on your computer, you want it free, ASANA. They're not paying me. I'm just telling you how it is. This program is fantastic. It gets the job. It's a little bit of a learning curve. You can actually have a couple of your friends or coworkers on board with you. They can do work. They can assign tasks. They can take tasks that they want to put their hands on. But it is a great, great program. Check it out, asana.com. I call it Asana. For all I know, it's Asana. And maybe I'm just, or Asana. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways I guess you could pronounce it. But for me, Asana has been the way to go. And in just a day and a half now, I have found it to be much more reliable for keeping up with things than doing it the way I was doing it in a spreadsheet in Google Docs. And then updating my calendar. Just took this, it'll go right to your Google Calendar. There are lots of benefits for it. And finally,
I've been wanting to talk to you about something.
Roku. Listen, Apple TV kind of put a scare out there for a while, and people thought, well, kids are going to, they're going to have their phones, and it's going to be able to play on the Apple TV, much like a remote control in the old days for a Nintendo or an Xbox or whatever. There's going to be apps. Well, clearly Apple did not head that direction yet. It has not developed yet. But Roku, listen up. This is your opportunity. Get in there, figure out some tweaks, make it so we can stream our iTunes accounts, or maybe even some Spotify. Now, I'll give you this. I have not gone in there to check on Spotify lately to see if there's a way to do it on there. I know Pandora's on there already, but give people more access to their things. Let me stream music from my own servers. That's got to be that you have to be able to do that without making it something where people have to hack it. Look, and I don't even know if there's a hack out there. I'm sure if there is, I could figure it out and do it if I wanted to. It hasn't been something that's really pushed me to that regard, because I feel like Roku, with the market share they're starting to pick up on, they're in stores all over the place. It's becoming a common name. In fact, once my DirecTV, sorry DirecTV, I love what you do for me. Love it. Once my Xbox subscription runs out, if NBA 2K13 doesn't have the online play or whatever, I promise you I'm not renewing. That might mean I'll lose my Netflix downstairs. I'll go get a Roku box. Or I'll just move the one from upstairs down. But either way, Roku's got a little market share here. And if they don't, try and grow it right now, I promise Apple will do something. 33 minutes. No Name Show is over. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Grow the show. Tell your friends. Click follow host. We're not number one because we're a ragtag operation. We put it down, and all I need is more of you and less of me. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us out. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, we'll update our schedule. Till then, peace.